Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. Today is Thursday, July 14th. Believe me, I can explain. Believe me, I will explain, and I will apologize too. As many of you have noticed, there was no episode last week. No episode of the Intelligent Moron came out, and with all my heart and soul, I do want to apologize. I do want to say I'm sorry if I left you alone for a week, which I know I've left many without my voice in your head, in your ears. I do apologize. It was not in my intentions. It wasn't planned. It wasn't, something that I was hoping to do. Believe me. But things happen. Plans changed. I'm kind of, like tiptoeing around the idea if I want to just say what happened or I want to kind of make it secluded and mysterious. Not really sure what to do with that. Nah, screw it. I'll just say it. I got the Rona. She came for me. She came after more than 2 years of dodging this Rona. She finally knocked on my door. Says, "Hello, bitch. I'm here for you." So yeah, that's what happened. Got it last week. Podcast day came around. I'm like, I can't go. Can't do it. Couldn't do it. I tried to. Believe me, I did. My mind was like, I can't not skip a week. I'm being a little bitch about it. I'm not, why stop? And then I was just like, I can't do it. Can't afford to do it. So ended up not doing the podcast last week. But, we're here now, a week later, and we're back. I want to kind of take you a little bit on a tour, though, of how this went down, I guess. I was at a party a couple nights before. I didn't feel well. Just having fun. Actually, let me rephrase that. I was at a party feeling great, feeling fantastic, having fun. Left the party, a couple days go by, and then I wake up with a fever, with a headache, some body aches, chills, and I'm like, oh no, this can't be it. Sure as hell, go to test myself, positivo, big old positive. I was like, shit, it found me. And then that was like the worst of it. Now I'm about a little over a week into it. I still am congested. I still have mucus built up, mucus drip, but that's about it. That's it. Little bit of a lack of senses right now. Also, taste and smell aren't quite there yet. I'm getting remnants of things, which is positive. It has improved. But, yeah, that's pretty much it right now. Don't feel sick at all, just the congestion and the loss of the taste and smell. That's about it, though. That's all she threw at me. But, yeah, besides, getting sick and being worried, the isolation, the whole isolation part of it is probably the worst part, honestly. In my case, actually, the worst part. Lack of taste and smell is actually pretty high too. It's very annoying, but I guess it's just part of it. So, but the isolation, for one, just being cooped up in my room this entire time was pretty bad. Pretty terrible. I've been on a constant diet of liquid IVs and emergencies, getting them, vitamins and nutrients and staying hydrated. That's been pretty, not a challenge, but just like a thing I've been having to do. And, just it's been fine. Like I said, like the major sick symptoms, like the fever, the body aches, chills, all went away after the first day. That was it. That was the most sick that I felt. I know I sound terrible. I sound like shit. But trust me as I say, I don't feel as bad as I sound. Really, truly, I don't. Which is annoying because when I go talk to people, they're like, "Oh, you sound terrible. Are you okay?" Like, I'm literally fine. I just sound like shit. But it's teetering off. Like this whole congestion is withering away. It's about to be kaputzed, and I'm gonna be, knock on wood, gonna be a COVID survivor. That's just what I do. That's just what I do. But yeah, 2 years, man. I never thought I would have gotten it. I never thought, because I was never in any shape or form like near anybody really who's had it, and nobody I knew recently has gotten it. So I was just thinking like, yo, I'm in the clear on this. I probably won't even get it, to be honest. And then boop, on the 4th of July party of all places, gets Rona. But we're back. I never plan to miss another week again, just so you know. Last week, me missing broke my heart. Broke my dear fat heart. I was like, shoot, I'm letting everybody down. And I was thinking to myself, do I alert the public of my diagnosis? Do I let them know that I will be back next week? I was like, probably should keep that under wraps right now. I mean, I just got it, and I'm like, yeah, I don't even have the energy to do that. Like I said, the first day was pretty rough. I was also like in and out of sleep. Like I was just sleeping, waking up, sleeping, waking up. I slept a lot that day, and immediately the next day, I felt that I was already feeling better. Right? No more fever, no more body aches, which was like weird because I was like, I expected those to be there for a few days, at least a couple days. After that, it was just congestion and a little bit of a cough, and then after that, lack of loss of taste and smell. But like I said, that's already coming back. So, yeah, I was expecting at least like fevery, flu-like symptoms, like those ones that I mentioned at the top, for like at least a few days. But no, they got out of me pretty quickly. I have to say, I'm very thankful. Very thankful. Again, I do sound not very good, so this might be a little bit of an episode that might be a little bit of a struggle to get through. I apologize, but next week this should all be cleared up and gone for sure. Yeah. So moving on, I guess. I hope everybody else had a good holiday. Everyone else had a good 4th of July, and then the weekend after that. The weekend after that, sorry. Or the weekend, that was a good weekend. It would have been nice to, not be sick on that time or get sick after that, but, what are you going to do, right? That's just how life goes. That's just how the dominoes fell. And now we're here. Could you already believe it, though? It's like mid-July already. It's already like going to be like, close to August. And then after August, it's like, oh, it's already going to be fall. It's like, wow, where did the time go? This is crazy. But, yet again, when you're a busy guy, you're a busy person, you got things going on, and you got things planned out, and then the days just go on and on and on. That's just how it feels. Time just goes. You're like, oh, wow. Shoot, what are we supposed to do now? But enough about me. Enough about the weekend. I hope you all enjoyed your 4th of July, even though I'm a week, like almost a week after I was supposed to say that. But yeah, hopefully it was all good. Hopefully you had a good day. Hopefully you didn't get sick. Hopefully you stayed healthy. You stayed cool. You stayed calm. You ate a lot of food. And yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about this thing that I was going to talk about last weekend, but I didn't get to do it because, got sicky wicky. There was this thing that I saw. It was called the Hangover pill. And I didn't really read a whole lot into it. But it was, from the general headline of the article and like what everybody was picking out was like, it can break down a pretty good percentage of alcohol in the body pretty quickly. Now, I haven't been like piss drunk in a long time. It's been a while, actually. I don't know about you guys, a little bit of an update on my life. I've kind of cut down on my drinking quite a bit. Not that I ever had a problem, but I just haven't drinking that much. And when I do, it's not even a whole lot, I think. Like, I think max, like, maybe the past, like, few weekends I've had, if I do drink, is like maybe 3 beers a night. Not like a night, like I drink every night, but like when I do, it's like maybe it's like 3. That's it. Used to be a lot more, but I don't know. I just kind of like not drunken that much, and it's been pretty cool. I don't know. Just kind of felt that way. I don't know. Is that if it's definitely a good thing, right? Like, no matter like what age you are, cutting down on your drinking is a good thing. It's a good thing. But just a little bit of an update. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I haven't drank. I bought like a big pack of Budweiser. Not a sponsor, but should be. Like maybe like a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago. Barely like drinking like maybe, I don't know, 12 of them. It's not that much. Not a whole lot, not a whole lot of drinking. So yeah, it's been pretty cool. Been a lot of fun. Although I kind of had dabbled back into the soda game a little bit, like a little bit more than I want to. Soda's so good, man. Soda's so good. It's like it definitely is not good for you. If you think about it, should I really be drinking this really bubbly liquid that kind of burns my mouth and burns my throat a little bit? Like, is this good? But dude, when you got like a nice, good, crisp soda, like the soda of your choice that's bubbly and refreshing and sweet, oh my God. I mean, there's nothing better, I think. On a hot day with a good meal, I mean, it's just the best. There's really nothing that can beat that. That combination of like good food and a nice crisp soda. It's really remarkable, I think. It's definitely up there in terms of like best flavors and best drinks to pair with a meal. Like, I don't know about you guys, but a good Coca-Cola and McDonald's, delicious. Like a nice quarter pounder with cheese and a McDonald's Coke or even a McDonald's Sprite. That shit slaps. That spicy Sprite, dear God, delicious. One of the best drinks ever made, ever created by mankind. McDonald's Sprite. Not a sponsor, but should be. Another one that I have is any form of taco truck or taqueria food, like a burrito, taco truck tacos, molitas, queso tacos, tortas, taco truck, asada fries, and a bottled Coca-Cola. Perfection right there. The mixture of the flavors of the food itself and then the soda pop, my God, incredible. Just an incredible combination of flavors. Like, you have those tacos, you wash them down with a nice cold bottled Coke. Ooh, I mean, talk about just a meal right there that anybody would love. Anybody will love. If you're not from California and you decide to go to California, there's not a whole lot of things that I think right now would want to make you go to California. But let me tell you this. The food trucks, the authentic Mexican cuisine here, like taquerias and taco trucks, to die for, I think. If you want flavor, if you want good food for a pretty decent price, my God, come down to California and try some of these tacos. Or even if you're a burrito guy, burritos are just as good, if not better, I think, in my opinion. Quesadillas as well. Tortas, molitas, just delicious food. Delicious food. But back to this hangover pill. Back to the pill. I can't count how many times when I was younger. Or actually, you know what? I didn't really get that many hangovers when I was younger. Now I do. If I ever do drink a lot, I get hangovers. And they're pretty gnarly. Like, not this 4th of July, obviously, but the one before that. We were partying at my buddy's house, just having fun, playing beer pong, beer die, flip cup, you name it, just getting absolutely mashed up. And I think I had like maybe 14 beers that night. My own PR, the most that I've ever had. 14 beers, and they weren't light beers. Those were Budweiser's, not a sponsor, but should be. I had 14 of those, and I think maybe a couple other ones that weren't Budweiser, but certainly another kind of beer, put me on my ass. And that was like, and I woke up and I just felt terrible. I felt like I had been run over. Well, I was so sore. My entire body was sore because of the athleticism I was putting in playing beer pong and all those games, and just kind of, moving quick and fast and, stuff like that. And then the fact that I was also hungover and my entire body was just like, oof, what have you done to us? And then that was also like the first time that I've ever almost vomited from alcohol consumption. Never have I done it before. Either it was because I've never drinking enough to vomit because of that, or I just don't do it. But I've never vomited because of alcohol consumption. I came close that day though. The day after that party, I went home and I sat on the toilet and I had to take a dump. And then after I was done taking a dump, I'm about to get off the toilet. I get this feeling that I need to vomit, and I shove my face in the toilet. And I kid you not, this is the first time I've ever done this. I dry heave. And then after I dry heave, I feel much better. But I'd never have ever dry heaved in my life before. And that was such a bizarre experience. It almost gave you the satisfaction of vomiting, but nothing came out. And you guys, if you know me, I hate vomiting. Hate it. It's like the worst thing that I can ever do. It's not a pleasant time for anybody. A lot of people don't like it. They probably don't like it as much as I do. I despise it. Every time I eat something that could give me the stomach aches, I get worried. I get worried sick. And I feel like, oh no, I don't want to throw up today. I can't afford to throw up today because I'm just not mentally prepared to throw up. Luckily, I haven't thrown up in a long time, a couple years. When I do, though, oof, it's no fun. I try my best not to do it. I know it's a bodily function that you have to let happen, because if you don't, it's just you're gonna fuck something up. You're gonna pull something, And I've come close. I've tried my best not to vomit, but it always ends up happening. And I always regret it. I always say, why did I make myself wait so long to vomit? You always feel better after you do throw up. But just the act of doing it, the pain, the sheer pain and vulnerability from doing that, it just hurts me. when it comes out your mouth and your nose, and then you start coughing it up, and then it like the saliva builds up in your mouth, and just the feeling right before, right, the cold sweats, the shakes, the feeling of like something's gonna come out of me and I have no control over it. It's like almost like that movie Alien, but like not out of your chest, your mouth. Thank God, right? It's always been a fear of mine and a dread, and I hope to never do that. But I was saying, like, that hangover pill, man, that would have come in clutch during that situation. There's a pill that could take down some of that alcohol in your body, like help it break it down faster than ever. Man, we would need no more home remedies, no bread, no lining your stomach with food before, no chugging water, no drinking like Pedialyte and stuff like that, or Liquid IV. No, not a sponsor, but should be. That would all be gone. This pill would be like if it's proven to work. I'm not sure if it is or not, but if it was proven to work, that could be a miracle. I would definitely try to get my hands on those if they were proven to work. But yeah, that would have been cool. Sorry if it's a little slow today. Still kind of recovering, but I was able to look at some things during my absence. A couple of things that I was able to get my eyes on. And news-wise, this is going to be more of a movie-centered episode, if you will. Maybe not fully movie, but like entertainment-wise, because I have a couple reviews coming up. But before we get there, I want to talk about what James Cameron was saying about Avatar 2 being 3 hours, and that he doesn't want to hear anybody whine about it. Because people watch and binge watch shows to the death. They will spend hours and hours and hours watching a TV show, episode after episode after episode, and not get bored of it. And you got James Cameron here, who wants to make a big picture, an epic picture that requires some length, and that he doesn't want to hear anybody be discouraged or mad or whine about it because, well, if you could, sit on your couch and watch 7 hours of Stranger Things in a row, you should be able to watch a 3-hour-long Avatar movie. Now, the cinema man in me, the cinema lover in me, is on James Cameron's side. I am on your side, James. I think you're correct. I think if these losers, these yahoos, these weenies should not be complaining about Avatar 2 being 3 hours long. I'll only complain if it's a bad movie. Then I'll complain. But if, your track record speaks for itself, Avatar 1 was pretty damn good. Even though it took me a while to come around to it. It is a good movie. It's a good spectacle, a good film. If it's bad, you might have a problem. But if it's good, I've always said this. It doesn't matter how long the movie is. As long as it's good, I'm not going to give a shit about the length. I won't care. And I don't think most people would care. Right? If the movie is good and it's entertaining and it doesn't feel long and it doesn't feel like it's dragging or whatever, or doesn't feel like it's wasting anybody's time, no one's going to say like that it's a bad movie. They're just not going to say it. But if it is bad, or if it's not good, you might get those criticisms. And I think for what he's talking about is people like to, I know people that won't even just give that long of a movie a chance. Some people will see the movie, be like, oh, that looks pretty cool. They'll be like, how long is it? And I'll be like, oh, it's like 2.5 to 2:45 minutes. They'll be like, what? That's too long. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? We live in the era of binge watching TV. Like, you have no problem with Stranger Things or anything else that you binge watch. Like there really is not like an argument there for it, you know? But, it never fails to come up though. I know people in my family that will be very discouraged by the length of something, but will watch a TV show and binge watch it and be like, nothing's bad. I think it's because, like, when you ask them to watch it in a theater, they'll be like, oh, I can't sit in the seats for that long. You're just a baby. You're just like that. That's not it. Like, are you an adult? Come on. How old are you? Sorry about that. But if it is like a movie that's streaming, I could see you be like you wouldn't be as hesitant or you wouldn't be as hesitant to see it, if it was able to be streamed. But that's not what James Cameron's about. He's about the movie theater experience. James Cameron is all about that. And if my God, if he makes a movie that is worth 3 hours of my time with a good enough story and a good enough plot and good action and just a good movie, I'm all in for that. I'm all in. I think that he definitely, for someone who doesn't know James Cameron, he definitely comes off as like an old man complaining a little bit with his comments, a little bit. But since I'm such a fan of what he's done in his work, I'm gonna back him up. And me being such a fan of cinema, I can't knock him. And like I've said, I am sick and tired of the 2-hour movie formula. The 2-hour movie format is just not for me anymore. Like, I mean, some movies can do it pretty well. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, Top Gun Maverick was like 210. My opinion, perfect movie. 11 out of 10, like I've already said. But, some movies do feel like, you can just kind of tell the plot, how it's going to go, especially with the way, how long it is. You'll just be able to, you get a feel of how it's going to go down. It's like, okay, whatever. There's nothing really there. But, again, that's just because I love cinema. Not everybody loves cinema as much as I do. That's completely fine. But I guess this is just so like you can be prepared for, hey, James Cameron is going to he makes long movies, just so you know. Like I think the first Avatar was like 230 something. And nobody was complaining about that back then. At least not that I remember. I mean, like that movie didn't feel that long to me. It was like pretty much constant action and constant go, go, go. Like I did not have a single problem with that movie. Actually, it was 2:42, 2 hours and 42 minutes, so a bit longer. I have no problem with it. I remember we should be so lucky that we're getting these long movies. These long movies that actually you can tell work has been put into them. That you can tell that there's been love and craftsmanship and care and stuff like that. Like, I'm so excited to see all of these Avatar movies because James Cameron has already written them all. He knows what's happening. He knows what's gonna go down. He knows, how it's gonna end. There's no stuff up in the air like the Star Wars trilogy, the sequel trilogy, that dog awful piece of shit trilogy that no one's gonna care about within the next 5 years. I trust James Cameron. I do. I think you should too. If you love cinema, you should have no problem with his comments. You should have no problem with his movies being that long. They should not offend you. Don't be a baby. It's just a movie, after all. A movie that you should probably see in the theaters. Because I can't wait for December this year, man. IMAX Avatar, The Way of Water. I can't wait for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Moving on. I told you I was going to cover some movies today. I've never really been in particularly a fan of Despicable Me / Minions. I think I've seen Despicable Me, Despicable Me 2, and recently I watched the Minions movie. It was during my isolation. I was like, what am I going to do? what is hot right now? What do people like? And I've been seeing that people, kids and adults, they just can't get enough of these minions, man. These little yellow guys. So what did I do? I fired up Peacock. Not a sponsor, but should be. And I checked out Minions. The first Minions movie that came out, I want to say in 2016, 2015. I checked it out. I was like, what's this shit all about? Why do people like this? What's so good about Minions? And I think I figured it out. It's their naiveness, the fact that they don't speak English, that you can't understand them, and they're like kings of slapstick physical comedy. They really are. Like when the minions are doing their minion things and they're messing shit up or doing stuff incorrect and yelling and screaming and getting hit, I can't lie to you, man. That shit's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. It's like almost like it like taps into like this very primal or like very early form of comedy, I think. Like almost like Three Stooges type of comedy. Like I feel I get a lot of like Three Stooges vibes when I look at the minions, especially in this movie because it's like centered like around three minions. You know, Kevin, Stuart, and Bob. That's just how they say it in the fucking movie. It's Kevin, Stuart, and Bob. But also the fact like their language is like so like it's like gibberish. It's like a bunch of languages mixed together. Like there's like some words you can kind of pick out like what he's trying to say. Like he'll kind of say it like in English, but with a little twist. But that's just it's honestly kind of comedy gold. It's kind of comedy gold. Like it's like these guys at Illumination, at DreamWorks, or at Universal, they got something there. They really do with those little guys. They got something that isn't really you don't really see anymore, right? Like in kids' movies nowadays, you know, some of them just like they like to get a little too serious. They like to get a little too adult. But, you know, Illumination and these guys, these movies, they stay very kiddie and very slapsticky, you know, slapstick comedy, physical comedy type thing, which I don't care how old you are. I think you could find it funny at any age, to be honest with you. And I think that's why the Minions are so successful is like that style of comedy is so well loved that you know, the kids love it, obviously, and when the parents take their kids, they're like, "Oh, this is also pretty funny." Like it's like I can see how people like it. And you know, after I saw Minions, I'm like, "Yeah, I get it. I get the Minion craze. They're pretty funny fellas." I looked up their language, by the way. I looked it up just to see if it had a name. I just thought it was like, or what languages were a part of the Minion language. First of all, if you want to be politically correct, they speak Minionese. So if you're saying why you speak in Minion, that's incorrect. That's politically incorrect. It's Minionese. That's their language. And I get hints of English and Spanish. Like one of them, like flat out said, "Que pasa? Que pasa?" That's Spanish, and then after that was just gibberish or Minionese. Sorry, but I get the craze now. I get the craze. I was never really, you know, informed of like what made people like Minions enough, like that much. Now I know. Now I fully know why people like that shit, or sorry, like them. Now I know. Fully know, and I can definitely see the appeal. I mean, these guys can be pretty funny. I don't know if I would go see their movies in theaters because it's filled with a lot of kids, and last time I saw a kids movie, which was Sonic 2 in theaters, that shit was painful. It was just kids literally just talking the entire time. I was like, I can't watch the movie. Never again. That's kind of like why I didn't see like Lightyear, because that movie is also a kids movie, and I'm like, ugh, there's gonna be kids in there. I don't even want to chance it. I don't even want to chance it. Moving on though. During my leave of absence, I was able to complete 2 TV shows. One being The Boys. I have not talked about The Boys season 3 at all, since it's been airing. I didn't mention it. I didn't say The Boys is out. I didn't say I'm watching The Boys. And now I'm going to be talking about The Boys season 3 because it's now completed. It's all out there. It has finished. The dust has settled. And now I'm going to be talking about The Boys season 3. I don't know if I'll spoil it, but I'm definitely going to give my thorough review right now. So I probably just won't spoil it because I don't want to put the timestamps in to check back in, check out. I just won't spoil it. But if you know me, you know that The Boys has been one of my favorite TV shows since it came out. Back in 2019, I'm like, I'm going to give this show a shot. It's superheroes. We're familiar with superheroes. We've, been in the superhero era for like more than 10 years, about maybe 15 years, I would say, in this like superhero craze of like universes and multiverses and shared universes and DC, Marvel, and all these guys. And then now we get The Boys, which is a completely different take on the superhero. It's more of a realistic corporate view of superheroes if they were actually real and they actually were, not heroes, more like pieces of shit. And from the first episode of the first season, I was immediately hooked on this show. For some reason, it just scratched that itch of like, hey, I've never seen this before in any type of superhero medium, and I like it. I like it a lot. I like the grittiness. I like the corporate realism. I like how there's like, people who believe that they're good, and then people that just know that they're bad. And for me, this show has, made bad guys popular, good guys popular, and all in between popular, neutral, everything. And it's been honestly one of my favorite shows since it's come out. And every single season always delivers. And this season, season 3, there was going to be the introduction of Soldier Boy into The Boys, played by Jensen Ackles, who I've never seen in anything. I know that he's in Supernatural, and I know he's in other things, but this is the first time I've ever seen him in. But man, Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy is like one of my favorite characters of The Boys. Billy Butcher is still my all-time favorite, just because Carl Urban plays that whole persona and that character so well that it's just like, it's super hard to beat that. Like that character alone, in my opinion, just makes the show. Like, I don't think the show is nearly as good if there's no Billy Butcher in The Boys. Truly, I just don't think that there is, because he plays that role so well, and you just can't stop like watching him because he's that good. Obviously, Anthony Starr as Homelander, also another keystone, another major role in the show. I also think without him, you got no show either. Like, it's hard for like these writers to really make me hate these guys, because if in their specific role. Like, I love Billy Butcher because he's Billy Butcher, and I love Homelander because he's Homelander. They're just so good at playing that role that it's just like, I don't want to. This is too good. This is just too good stuff. So back to the actual season review of The Boys season 3. I will say this: the show from the start all the way to episode 7 is some of the best TV that I've seen in a while. And I say this every time The Boys comes out. It's some of the best TV that I've seen. Really is. Episode 1 through 7 of this show is just through the roof, over the top, boys. It's so good. And you're probably asking, what about the finale for season 3? What about the last episode? It's good too. But in terms of a last episode of the season in shaping the future of the boys and deciding, the future of the characters, I got to be honest with you, man, it's a little bit of a letdown. It doesn't really tie a whole lot of things up. A lot is still on the table. There's a couple things that were, wrapped up pretty well, I thought. But, just like it leaves much more desired and much more open that you need to watch like right now. Like I want to watch season 4 right now because like the way it leaves off, I guess it's a good cliffhanger, but like ultimately like it's not a very good conclusion of that season. There's just a lot of things left open, right? And I thought that there would be more conclusion of most of those things that opened season 3 and led into from season 2. Not a whole lot of that happened, and I was like, damn, like did we really need season 3? Like honestly. I mean, I'm not gonna, say like it was a terrible season. No, not one bit. The season itself was awesome, but you probably could have not shown it, and not a whole lot of would have been missed. There's again a couple things that are concluded, but like as in terms of like season like ending episodes, definitely like the not not the best. I still think that the ending of season 2 is just incredible. Season 2 ending of The Boys is just like unmatched. And I thought that we could have like gotten something very close to that in this one, but it just never happened. Like they could have done it. They could have done something to make it to that same level, but they just didn't pull the trigger. And I was thinking like, all right, I'll give you a pass on that. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either. Like it could have been a lot worse, I think. When I say that, that just sounds like I'm trying to pick something wrong with it. I'm not, trust me. But in terms of season finales and in terms of ending a season of a show, just a little lackluster, a little what's the word? It's just like flat, pretty flat. Not a whole lot happened. Just not a whole lot got done, I guess you could say. And I was kind of like thinking like shit's really going to happen in this episode, and it never did. But, we all get our hopes and dreams up a little too high every so often. And this one, I definitely felt that my expectations were a lot higher. And when it ended, I'm like, shame. But again, still love the episode. Loved the season overall. Like I said, episodes 1 through 7 had me. I was like, I was ready for this finale. And the finale just didn't conclude a lot. And I'm like, okay, season 4, here we go. Season 4 is going to be, you can already tell it's going to be insane. Season 4 is going to be insane. It's like, man, I just want season 4 now. With everything that's happened, you can definitely see like maybe season 4 being the last season of The Boys. I'm not sure if there's like a concrete answer of like how much they're going to do of The Boys, but like definitely maybe 2 more seasons, maybe max. I don't know. We'll see. Given the story that we've gotten so far, it definitely could be. I don't know. Like next season is going to be crazy, just absolutely crazy when it drops. Whenever it does, I'm ready right now. But who knows? But yeah, it's definitely great show. Great show. I would rate season 3 of The Boys an 8.8 out of 10. Not quite, season 1 or season two's level, but pretty damn good though. Pretty solid 8 weeks of TV. Like that was awesome. Waiting for the boys to drop, and like every episode just being so well done. Everyone did so well too in the cast. Carl Urban, Jensen Ackles, Anthony Starr, Jack Quaid, Chase Crawford, Aaron Moriarty. They all did so good. It was awesome. It was great. And The Boys always brings the drama. It always brings it. You can always count on it to be full of drama, full of action, and full of insane stuff that you can only see in The Boys. And I'm so happy the show is still a thing. So happy. That was not the only TV show from Amazon that I consumed during my isolation. I also checked out The Terminal List, which, if you don't know, is Chris Pratt's new show on Amazon Prime, starring Chris Pratt, Constance Wu, and Taylor Kitsch. I'm not really I don't watch a whole lot of Amazon TV besides The Boys and now this. I've completed the Terminal List, the series so far, and this is going to be a review. This is going to be a review of the show. If you don't know the Terminal List, it's kind of like, it gives me a vibe of like a Jack Ryan, Tom Clancy type of story, where there's like special forces involved and Chris Pratt's the lead, and something goes wrong on a mission, and a whole chain of events happens, and he finds out secrets and stuff like that, and dirty government cover-ups, and he goes on missions to try to figure out what's really happening with him and these operations, and why he's he's like being labeled like this soldier gone AWOL and stuff like that. And I gotta tell you, man, this might be the best I've ever seen Chris Pratt at acting. We know that he's Andy Dwyer from Parks and Recreation, then he became Star-Lord, goofball from the Guardians of the Galaxy. He's had a couple tender moments in those movies and in the Avengers movies and all that, and whatever he's been in Marvel, he's had some moments, shining moments. He's in Jurassic World. He's done a couple other roles, but this role right here, his role of James Reese in The Terminal List, gotta be his best role to date. I mean, it's like he was born for this role, and this story too is just awesome. Like, it is based off a book by Jack Carr, The Terminal List, and it's 8 episodes, this series. I'm not sure if there's going to be another season or what, or if it's just a miniseries, but man, one thing I gotta say about this series that's, I think, missing in a lot of other platform series, whether it be Disney and even Amazon, or not Amazon, Disney, and Amazon with The Boys a little bit. Every single episode is perfect, meaning you don't feel like a single frame, a single shot, sequence is wasted in what this story is trying to tell you and what it's trying to get across to you. Every single second is important to the story, to the characters, and where it's leading to. And for me, I don't get a whole lot of that in that many TV shows, where they literally like spend no time for filler. Maybe that's because it's based off a book and it was just planned so perfectly in my eyes that it didn't need that. I just came off of watching Obi-Wan Kenobi. You could have taken out like maybe 2 episodes in that fully, a lot of sequences in some episodes, and you would have had a pretty decent, good movie. A decent movie. But not in this, man. There's no filler. There's no dancing around things. There's no beating behind the bush. It's just there. It's all there for you. And the story is deep. It gets pretty sad, too. I was not expecting that at all. Definitely had some teary-eyed moments from the beginning. And even throughout the entire series. It's deep. It's gritty. It doesn't hold back. It can get pretty brutal. The action is sick. The characters are great. And the whole construction of the show, from beginning to end, is just, in my opinion, incredible. The way the story flows, how they feed you information, how characters evolve, how they change, how the story changes along with that, and how that kind of puts our characters in certain spots. Introduction of other characters. It's this show, man. I'm not kidding you. I wasn't really expecting anything out of it. I expected nothing out of it. Expected to get just a pretty decent thriller type of show. It is so much more than that. It is so much more than that. It is an emotional roller coaster. And again, it's all done by Chris Pratt. Like, without Chris Pratt, man, I don't know if this show works, because he has that likability, that rootability in this character. You're in it with him. I was just in this entire show with Chris Pratt's James Reese, and I was like, dude, let's go. We gotta, complete the mission. You gotta figure out what's going on here. And honestly, man, I'm so happy that I decided to watch this show, because from the beginning, it got me. I was hooked. I was like, this is gonna be sick. This is gonna be a sick show, and it was. And man, I mean, there's not much I can say that I did not like about this show, because the fact that there's no filler, no wasting of time at all in this show. It's hard for me to dock points off of it. It really is. I guess if I were to ding it, some of the effects that they use, there might be a couple things that maybe, but it all really just enhances his struggle and what he's going through. But if I were to really pinpoint what one thing I didn't like so much, and this is just a nitpick, sometimes there's a little too many flashbacks. Sometimes, but it really isn't that big of a deal at all, because it's all giving you more knowledge to what's really happening. But maybe I don't know. It's really tough. I'm nitpicking here. I'm nitpicking. I've only seen the show once, but I was like, damn, this is so good. It is so good. I can't believe how good this is. But all in all, if you haven't watched it, or if you've been hesitant, and you're like, who's seen it? Who's watched this? Has anybody recommended it to anybody? I'm going to recommend it to you right now. This show is amazing. It's amazing. And it's probably one of the best Amazon series that I've ever seen. Again, I'm not sure if there's going to be another season or something else after this, like a continuation. I have no idea. But if there isn't, job well done. Job well done with this show. Job well done. I'm going to give it a review. I'm going to review it. The Terminalist gets a 9.7 out of 10. for me. If you're thinking about it, if you have maybe just like a little bit of like, should I check it out? Yes, you should. Yes, you should. I really, really, really think that people would love this show if they gave it a chance. It's definitely, you're probably not expecting much. That's even better. Go into it with absolutely zero expectations. If you read the book, probably can't say that to you, but like if you have no idea what this is, trust me, just check it out. It is so good. So good. Last thing before I go. Yesterday was International French Fry Day. And I thought that I would rank the French fries of some of the top fast food chains out there. I don't have a list in front of me, but I'm going to make it in my head as I go. I'm going to rank... Let me just write this down before I forget which French fries I put on the list. So, I'm going to say that McDonald's is one of them. Then we'll go BK. Then we'll go Jack in the Box. And then we'll go Wendy's. Gotta have Wendy's. That's a pretty well-known establishment. Then we'll go Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A, not Dip-A. I swear, autocorrect is so bad. Let's see. We have McDonald's, BK, Burger King, Jack in the Box, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A. We'll do Arby's too. I've had their fries. And we'll do Five Guys. That's pretty good. I mean, we got McDonald's, Burger King, Jack in the Box, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, Arby's, and Five Guys. Trying to think if there's one more we should put on this list, and I'll rank them right now. Which one can we put there? Those might be like the biggest fast food chains that have popular fries in, where I live in California. I'm not going to rank Shake Shacks because I don't really have that here. I've had it a couple times, but not enough for me to put it on this list. We'll do, that's it. No, we'll do Carl's Jr. And then that's it. So we have McDonald's, Burger King, Jack in the Box, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, Arby's, Five Guys, and Carl's Jr. I'm going to rank those right now. This is tough. This is very tough. But, what am I doing? In-N-Out. I'm in California. Come on. In-N-Out. And then that's it. So we got McDonald's, Burger King, Jack in the Box, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, Arby's, Five Guys, Carl's Jr., and In-N-Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got 9 locations, and I'm going to rank them all right now to end the show for French Fry Day, which was yesterday. I got to go number 1. You know what? Actually, I'm going to switch up number 1. I'm going to go number 1, Wendy's. No, that's too stupid of me. That's really dumb. I think number 1, I'm going to go... I think Five Guys has better fries, the best fries here. Yeah, I'm going to go Five Guys. Five Guys, number 1 for sure. Say what you want about their prices of burgers and all that, and their prices in general. Their fries are magnificent. Like way, just overall better fries. The best fries, I think. Out of this list right here that I just made, the best, I think. And this is like peak fry. This is like fresh as can be, freshly prepared, right out of the fryer, you consuming it. I think that Five Guys has got the best, freshest fries. Number 2, this is tough. I'm going to go for my number 2. think Wendy's are better. I think it goes Five Guys and then Wendy's. Wendy's has some really good fries when you first get them. They're really good. They're crispy, salted just right. You know, they're just great. And then number 3, I'm going to go McDonald's. Just because McDonald's has like just a very distinct flavor, and like their fries usually are always good when I get them. Always crispy, usually always pretty warm. Of course, when the fries aren't warm, they're not good. Any fry. But when they are warm, out of the fryer, delicious. So number 3 is McDonald's. Number 4, I'm going to go Jack in the Box basic fries. They're pretty good. They're like closest to Wendy's fries, but just not as good. They're pretty good though. Number 5. I'm gonna actually go In-N-Out. Because let me tell you this, man. If you let In-N-Out's fries sit for a little bit, they become less and less good. But if you get them right as they come out and you eat them fresh as fuck, they're actually pretty good. I can't lie. They are pretty good. So I'm going to go number 5 is In-N-Out. Number 6, I'm going to go Arby's fries because they're the exact same as Jack in the Box's curly fries. And they're all right. Like, they're pretty good, but I prefer their regular fries. Like, I expected them to be a little bit different than Jack in the Box's curly fries, but they're exactly the same. And I've had them both, and I think that I would rather take Jack in the Box's fries, regular fries, over Arby's curly fries. I still would eat them. I would eat a lot of them, but I still think that they're not as good as like a basic fry. So that's 6. 7, I'm going to go Chick-fil-A because I'm not a huge fan of waffle fries. I really think that the waffle fries are just not a good fry. And that's the only fries that they sell at Chick-fil-A. It's just like, I don't know what it is, but whenever they just make it into a waffle, I feel like the fry just does not have that much density and that much flavor. I don't know what it is, but it just feels like that to me. And yeah, number 7 is going to be Chick-fil-A. I love their chicken sandwiches, but their waffle fries, they're okay. They're all right. Number 7, I'm going to go Burger King. Or number 8, Burger King for number 8. Burger King's fries used to be really, really good. And then all of Burger King just started to suck, including their fries. And they have not been able to recover. I've had them like pretty recently, like maybe 3 months ago. I had a fry from there. And I'm like, it's just, no, it's not good. Like, I don't know what they're doing there. If they're trying to make things better, it doesn't seem like they are. And their fries are just not good. So number 8, I'm going to go Burger King. And number 9, the last ranked fry for me is Carl's Jr. They've just never really been all that great to me. Usually pretty basic, not a whole lot of flavor in them. Their burgers are just better than their fries, but I usually just like don't really care for them at all. I don't like they don't have any long lasting impression when I think of good fries. Like Carl's Jr.'s just they're not good at all. So yeah, that's my list. I'll read it back to you. from number 1 to number 9. Number 1 was Five Guys. Number 2 was Wendy's. Number 3 was McDonald's. Number 4 was Jack in the Box. Number 5 was In-N-Out. Number 6 was Arby's. Number 7 was Chick-fil-A. Number 8 was Burger King. And number 9 was Carl's Jr. That's my fry ranking. That's how I rank my fries for the fast food establishments that I've had and that are most popular around here. Definitely could have probably put on Shake Shacks, but to be honest, I don't really remember them all that much. I've had that place like maybe twice. They're pretty good, but like I don't remember them a whole lot. These are the places I've had much more recently. And even Arby's was a while ago. I know that, but and I've had it once, but they are literally the same thing as Jack in the Box curly fries. They taste just the same. They feel just the same. They're the same thing. I've had Jack in the Box's curly fries more often enough to grade them. So yeah, that's going to be it today, folks. That's the show. Thank you for bearing with me in my sick sounding voice. Trust me, I feel a lot better than how I sound. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Remember, you could find this podcast, Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva, on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, all under that name. Remember to leave a comment, rate, review, subscribe, like, do all that good stuff. Get the podcast up the charts. Thank you so much for listening. If you have a question or want to send me a topic or ask me to talk about something, you could DM me on my social medias. Those are located in the descriptions of every episode of the podcast. So check that out if you have time or if you want to. With that being said, again, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I will see you guys back next week.